Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's the night. I've got my man, Strange Monkey, in the house, ready to rock and roll. What's going on, man?
How you doing? I always dance every time I hear the Night Watch Zone intro. It just I'm like, oh, here we go, here we go.
Yeah, I still got that video, man. I'm waiting for my opportunity to, put that on something because that was just hilarious when you sent that out,
Oh
man.
my god, I could make a part two sometime in the future. Who knows?
Right?
It's hilarious.
All right, man. So tonight, we're just gonna be hanging out for a little bit and just doing some questions that I'm sure that many people that know your channel might be interested to hear what you would say. But and I know you're similar to me in a sense. We're gonna have to talk about our man, Michael Audrey Myers.
The greatest of all time.
Hey, you're calling him the GOAT. I don't have an issue with that. But we're going to have some questions pertaining to Michael and some thoughts and a conversation specifically that will kind of angle towards Halloween Ends, which will be coming out in this
Right.
October. So that'll be fun too. Um, Real quick, before we get going, before we hit the ground running, I just want to say hi to the folks in the chat. My man Steven saying, let's go. What's up, man? How you doing?
Hello, 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 hello.
Jessica saying, waiting for this and starting to celebrate my birthday with a little bit of horror. Oh, happy birthday. Thank you so
Happy
much.
birthday.
Yeah. All right. That's very cool, Jessica. Patrick's in the chat. Michael Myers is half human and half supernatural. The story needs to be when and how did that happen? Well, maybe we'll find out. Maybe we will find out.
You never know.
That's right. Dan's in the chat. Suspended animation for 100 years, then Halloween in space. No,
Yes.
no,
Oh no, I'm
no,
kidding.
no. Every time we
Heal
talk
up.
about in space, man, I start thinking, you know what I start thinking of. And we already talked about that on the Venom stream. Mikey said,
Your
what's up?
hero.
That's right. No more Hellraiser talk. What's up, Phil? What's up? What's up? And Wayne's in the chat too. Sydney, Australia. All right. Shane's in the chat. What's going on? Let Laurie kill Michael once and for all. All right. Okay. All right. Well,
Yes, I agree.
let's hit the ground running a little bit, and we'll start off with some of those Michael Myers conversations. Now, one of the first things I want to throw out at you, and like I said, I know you're a big fan of the franchise,
Uh-huh.
but we got to kind of go down memory lane a little bit. And the first thing I want to talk about is what are your thoughts on the franchise in general? I mean, when we talk about the previous movies, the original, the sequels, the peaks and the valleys that these movies have had, what are your thoughts on it as a franchise?
Overall, I live and breathe Halloween. I've been a fan since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Um, there have been a lot of ups and downs, unfortunately.
Right.
And I mean, overall, I do enjoy the movies. There
Hmm.
are some problems. It's pretty obvious, and it seems like they're making up for that right now by starting fresh. It's like they didn't
Hmm.
know where to go, and it's like, you know what? Let's just start fresh.
Hmm.
Forget forget resurrection. Let's just start over. And I think they've been
you
doing.
you said it, not me.
I mean, they had so many plans to keep going, but they said, let's just reboot it all. I do think that they did a fantastic job with the 2018 movie. And some people were not too happy about Halloween Kills. I liked
Hmm.
it for what it is. They could have changed a couple of things, but I'm excited for Halloween Ends. Like I said, this and the Terminator franchise are like my two favorite franchises.
Oh
Um,
wow, there you go.
yeah, I mean, I find entertainment in every single Halloween film. So, like I said, Michael Myers is the top dog.
All right. Okay. Now, I mean, and just to throw my 2 cents into it as well, I think the franchise has it has survived. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I think obviously the original movie to me is just such a great film. It still is. And you had some sequels that kind of went up and down.
Yeah.
They tried different things with Season of the Witch that didn't work out too well. and I think some people have started to come around to that a little bit nowadays.
I,
And
I'm one
then
of those people.
yeah, me too, man. Like when I was a kid, when I was younger, and I saw that movie, it literally ticked me off. I hated this movie for a
Yeah, I
long
was,
time, and I come around to it. So, but there's still some people that really aren't big fans of it, and that's okay. Everyone has the right to their opinion. But
of
then
course.
you have the Thorn trilogy, and then of course, as you mentioned, we had some things go awry with
That's where there was some turbulence in the franchise.
some turbulence. Absolutely, man. So, with that being said, I think that it's kind of neat to think about how the franchise has kind of gotten back on course, as far as just
Hmm.
the care that it's been given, the attention to detail. And, you've got some great actors in these movies, I mean, I mean, you think about some of the
It's
other ones, it's like, wow.
a lot of these actors they just gave it their all in all these movies,
Yes,
especially Jamie Lee Curtis. We've seen this is a different side to Laurie Strode.
absolutely.
Somebody who's been through it, and
Mhm.
it's just that performance was top notch in the 2018 film.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I agree with you. Now, with that being said, and we kind of, alluded to it, but another thing is, why do you think that these new movies are divisive? Because, you know, I think we both kind of look at it the same way, where it's a good franchise, but it had some rough spots. And now you've got these new movies that, to me, are trying to do some different things, some fresh things, and I think they're doing a pretty good job. But these films have been divisive. Why do you think that might be?
I think it's because, like you said, they're trying new things. Writers can't make up their minds,
Hmm.
and that upsets the fan base.
Okay.
When I guess some fans they want the same thing over and over. Some fans want something different, and it's kind of sad how they give us something different, and
Yes.
people just don't like Halloween 3, for example. That was
Hmm.
something different
Yeah.
because John Carpenter felt Michael Myers was dead,
Yep.
and people just they were not ready for something different. An anthology.
Hmm.
Halloween Kills was something a little different. Halloween: The
Hmm.
Curse of Michael Myers was something different with the whole
Right.
Thorn backstory, and just people. It just pissed off fans,
Right. Right.
and in the end, it's like some of us have to sit there and take it. It's like, what now? What do we do now? So
Hmm.
it's Michael Myers has been dragged through the mud, and he still keeps on coming back for more. So, like
Yeah.
you said, they've been handling this with care,
Hmm.
and as long as we get a proper ending, something that will satisfy fans in the end, I think we're good.
Okay. All right. And I echo a lot of what you said. They
Hmm.
have tried to do different things several times in this franchise. And
Yeah.
also the whole idea with Rob Zombie's take. I mean, if you really think about it, it's been about four or five times, through this franchise that they've tried to just do something a little bit different. And I don't mind that. I mean, some of these things did not work as well for me.
Yeah.
But I at least give them credit for trying to do some different things. And with Kills, they really, the whole idea of making the town kind of like a character, I thought that that was not only interesting, but it's something that they never really did in any of the other
Not
movies.
not necessarily. No, they've never tried that before. Some people have noticed that in Halloween 2, the whole town was like pissed off and they were throwing rocks at the Myers house, and in
Right. Yeah.
4
Yeah.
with the
That's
lynch mob. But that was just it's like they were playing around with that, but they never went all the way like how
right.
they did with Halloween Kills. So
Absolutely.
that was definitely interesting.
Yeah, and I think that if nothing else, it added a little bit of I don't know if I want to say realism, but in a way it was kind of some realism because this town has dealt with this situation for 40 years, and you started to see, them getting upset about it and trying to do something about it. Now they were going about it the wrong way, and I think that was the lesson
Oh
that
man.
was being trying to be taught. The whole idea of vigilanteism and stuff like that. But again, we had never seen that to this level
No,
in this
and that
franchise.
and that's what I admire about Halloween Kills,
Mhm,
because you see, there were other townspeople that shared their own little stories about Michael and what everybody has been through and whatnot. Just the little
mhm,
comments that were made about specific characters and whatnot. And
mhm.
everybody just tries to get together, but I just they were in over their heads in certain scenes, like,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
you know we saw how that turned out.
Yeah,
So
absolutely, man. Absolutely. And also, real quick in the chat, I want to jump in here and also let you guys know in the chat if you do have any questions pertaining to the discussion, or if you have any questions for Strange Monkey, definitely leave the comments in the chat, and I'll get to those hopefully in a little bit. We'll try to get to all the questions if we do have a lot. But we do have a comment from Wayne saying, "My issue with 2018, every male was an idiot except Michael. Kills at least equal opportunity idiots. Mob scene is terrible. Yes, make Michael strong and scary, but a lot is making others idiots at the time. What do you think of that, Strange Monkey?"
can you hear me?
Yep, I sure can.
Oh, can you see me?
Yep. Although I think
I
you're
think
fro-
I
I
had.
think I think you're
Oh,
frozen, but I can definitely hear you.
I think I was having a connection issue. How about now? Can you see me?
Yep, I can see you. Although it's still
Okay.
frozen, but I can hear you though.
Oh. Uh. Okay. Let me see here. I don't know what happened here. Give me 1 second here. Uh, I don't know if I'm still frozen or
There you
not.
are. No, you're not
Okay.
anymore.
No. Okay. Great. Okay. So I completely missed that question.
He was saying that he had issue with 2018 that every male was an idiot except Michael, and kills at least equal opportunity idiots. The mob scene was terrible. Yes, make Michael strong and scary, but a lot is making others idiots at the time.
Every male was an idiot in the 2018 film.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
That is a good point. Um, Man, that's a lot of people have been kind of divisive about that because, like,
Yeah.
the whole strong female thing, and then like the males were kind of just like
Hmm.
oblivious to what was going on. Allison's father, he just didn't
Yeah.
care. Like, he was just like, "Oh, Lori doesn't know what she's talking about. She's out of her mind."
Right.
And then he ends
Hmm.
up getting killed. He's the first character that comes to mind when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Although he was, well, here's my thing on it too, and let me know what you think on it too. I mean, he was written to be that way because
yeah,
they were trying to have some levity in the film, because when you think about it, that movie is pretty dark in a lot of places, especially with Laurie
yeah,
Strode's, PTSD, Karen being in denial, and obviously Allison rebelling against her mother and loving her grandmother, but also being frustrated with her grandmother because of the whole obsession with Michael. And Sartain was an
yeah.
ass, pretty much. And of
Oh,
course, Michael
what?
Myers is killing people. So everything was really dark. So I can understand, and this is just my fan opinion, is I can understand why they might have decided to write the father to have some more comedic edge, because everybody else was dealing with shit.
I think because they were trying to, I guess they didn't want to be 100% serious, and
Right.
it just you needed some scenes where you just needed to laugh, and
Yeah.
just slow it down with the tension. I guess that's what
Hmm.
they were trying to do there. So,
Hmm.
I mean, that didn't necessarily hurt the film, but I see the point that Wayne is trying to make.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
in Kills, they also had maybe one or two characters, if I'm not
Right.
mistaken, that were Big John and Little John. Those
Hmm.
guys were like the comic relief, and they stole the show in that movie.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you on that. I think they
But
did.
sadly, they didn't make smart decisions because
True
they could
enough.
they had opportunities to leave, but they screwed up.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Now, so here's one of the big questions, or at least a two-part on this type of thing, which is really one of the things that I wanted to focus on at least for a few minutes.
Okay.
The question is, should Michael Audrey Myers die in Halloween Ends?
Yes. I
All
think
right.
it's time to just. I think it's time. If Halloween ends, just end it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
And
I understand that Mustafa Akkad has this clause in the contract and
right.
all that stuff, and that's what affected Halloween H2O's amazing ending, and then they made
Mm-hmm.
Resurrection, and that derailed everything. But I
Right.
think at some point, it's time to let this rest, and Hollywood needs to just come up with other ideas, to come up with new and creative ideas, so other horror icons can we can bring in new horror icons in the future. Because Michael
Mm-hmm.
Myers, there's nothing else that we can do. He's on the Mount Rushmore of horror icons. Like, how many more Halloween movies can you make?
Right.
Seriously.
Right. I mean, that's true. Um, so I guess, and I want to piggyback on that in a second. So that was the first part of the question
Okay.
is, asking you that, but then the next thing is, will Michael die in Halloween Ends? So I know you're saying that he should die, but the question is, will they pull the trigger on this thing, man? Because I'm telling you, I'm so excited, so hyped up for the possibilities. Because, I think the possibilities they've kind of shown with Halloween Kills, especially, the possibilities for this movie are fairly wide open compared to everything that we've seen in the franchise. I mean, Halloween Kills starts off with a damn flashback or recreation scene, which, by the way, I thought was fantastic.
Flawless.
Um,
Just chef's kiss. Flawless.
yes, absolutely. So the question is, will they pull the trigger? Will they kill Michael? What do you think?
That is an excellent question. Will they kill, you know, Universal and Blumhouse, like, they're making tons of money with this franchise because it's been
Yep.
doing very well. So that right there, like, you have to take that into consideration. Will they
Yes.
pull the trigger? Because they're still going to make money off of this franchise if they do
Yeah.
it. Either
Right.
way, um,
Hmm.
I'm not sure if they will. A lot of people have been having theories because they could go about this anyway. So Michael could kill everybody, and then it will say Halloween ends. That could mean
Hmm.
anything. It
That's
could
right.
not. It doesn't have to necessarily mean that Michael Myers will die.
Exactly.
Maybe Michael and Laurie will die. Maybe she'll
Hmm.
make some sort of heroic sacrifice and put an end to all this stuff. So
Yep.
there's several different ways that they can go about this, but you know how Hollywood is, man. They just it's hard to say. I don't know if I have an answer for that one.
If you were to lean one way or the other, and again, I won't hold this against you come October if you're wrong, but if you had to lean one way or the other that he dies or he doesn't die, which way
I
would you
think
lean?
I think it's time for Michael to go.
Okay.
I think I hope that they do kill him off.
All right. Okay. Sounds good. Let's see. I want to just catch up to the chat too. Wayne was saying as a follow-up point to his last one, Laurie was great in 2018 though. Thanks for the reply, guys. No problem at all.
No problem.
And Wayne, I think I saw your question earlier, and we'll hopefully get to that in a few minutes too. So, like I said, if you guys do have questions pertaining to the discussion or to Strange Monkey, throw them in, and we'll hopefully get to them specifically in a little while. And Apollo, what's up? How you doing, man? He's in the chat,
Hey,
and
yo,
he,
Apollo.
hey, Apollo. That's my man, Rocky. Um, and he was saying he's not as excited for Halloween Ends as he was for 2018 and Kills. Yeah, there's definitely some people that are in that boat. You know, they definitely are in that boat. And
Yeah.
actually, this brings up another question that I had as a side question. When we talk about what I call the Trinity, Michael,
Hmm.
Jason, and Freddy.
Right.
Now, these are obviously when you talk about the Mount Rushmore of horror icons, especially in the last, 50 years, you got to have those guys up there. If you got four spots,
Absolutely.
those guys have to have the three
Of
spots. I,
course.
that just has to happen. We can argue on who gets the fourth, but if you're talking about those three spots, those guys got to get it. But that being said, these are the modern day, or at least in the last 40 years or so, these are the modern day universal monsters. These are the
Yeah.
modern day Dracula and Frankenstein and Wolfman and Mummy. Now, that being said, Dracula has had movies made for, what, 70 years worth.
God, it's just it
So
never ends. It never
yeah,
ends.
and it's still new things coming out today that are either Dracula or vampire based. So, like you were saying, that you think it's time for him to die, or how long can they keep going with Michael Myers? The question also is, will this become a scenario where when we're old men, they're still gonna be making Michael Myers movies or Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees? Do you think that's a possibility?
Oh, definitely. I mean,
Okay.
they can remake Halloween like 20 times in the future.
Okay.
They can reboot it as many times as they want.
Mhm.
We can't stop them.
Right. Yeah, there's
No
nothing we can.
petition will stop Universal or whoever is in charge in the next 40 years.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
if
true.
Dracula can keep making so many movies, like we've had so many, the one with
Yeah.
Gary Oldman, Get Dracula
Yes.
2000, so
Yep.
many Dracula films, and it just doesn't stop. So I
Yep.
don't think this will be the end of
Right.
Halloween in this timeline, but who knows what they'll do. Maybe in about 15 years from now, we'll see a reboot, but
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Jordan was saying, I'm at school, so I can't watch, but I'll watch the replay. All right. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Eric's in the chat saying, Laurie is sadly killed. The Strode family knows only one person can stop Michael, and then we cut to Buster Rhymes answering the phone. I hope not,
They-
man. I
it's
hope
like,
not.
well, it looks like Dangertainment is back on the air.
Michael Myers might be a killer shark, but I'm like Brody and Jaws.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious if you say something like that.
Uh, Jordan saying, also before I go, I gotta say I think Michael should kill Laurie, and then Allison kills Michael. But anyway, he's got college stuff to do. All right, all right. It could happen like that.
That yeah, that could be a
Yeah,
possibility.
yeah, it could. Flamethrowers in the chat, pulling the trigger on him didn't work and kills. That's right, and they tried.
That is true. They
I
just
shot him 6 times.
I don't understand what was this whole let's take turns on attacker. Just beat them up at once. Everybody just start throwing punches, shoot them,
Right,
whatever. But
right.
it's frustrating.
Right? Oh, we got Gory B Movies in the chat saying, great to see you two live.
Hello.
Hey, thanks so much. We appreciate that. Nice to see you. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Mikey saying, of course he will, quote unquote, die.
I remember when I was in the theater and I was like, "Is that it? Did they burn him?" And then
Right?
all of a sudden you hear that breathing. I'm like, "Son
Yeah,
of a
that
bitch! I
breathing.
knew it.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Gory saying, boom, Strange Monkey dropping those hot takes. Right?
I
Right,
have
right.
to every time. I have to."
Dan coming in with the hot take saying Leprechaun gets the fourth spot. And you know that's wrong, Dan. You know me better than that.
I see what he did there. The fourth spot.
Right. Gory saying, laugh out loud, working on a Leprechaun, all the gory details review now. I'm surprised by how much of it was inspired by Scooby Doo as I listened to the special features. Oh my God, Gory. Wow.
It looks like you can't escape Leprechaun tonight.
I I can't. I can't. But you know what? She's cool, so I'll have to check that out whenever that review comes out. I'll do that, Corey. Saying I'm always game for passionate creatives to make another installment in a beloved franchise. It is when the studios are just out to make a buck that I get nervous. Absolutely. I
Yep,
so agree.
definitely.
Yep. Apollo saying Nicolas Cage is making another Dracula film. That's right.
I forgot about
That's
that.
right.
Oh man.
Yep. Renfield. Yeah. Yes,
The
absolutely.
spiritual successor to Vampire's Kiss.
Castler saying Michael needs to kill with an axe. Oh wow. All right. Nice. Nice.
I remember
Uh
the alternate ending to Resurrection where they actually do kill Michael with an axe, and
oh
Buster
god.
Buster Rhymes is like he turns over to the girl. He's like, "You ball busting banging ass chick. God bless
Yeah.
you."
Oh
It's
my god.
ridiculous.
The fact that you just made me remember that, it's like, "No,
I
no."
had to. I'm so sorry.
Uh, too funny. Uh, Jordan saying to Gory, thanks, by the way, for subbing me, and I got a notification. I'm going to sub and check out your channel. Yes, definitely check out her channel. It is awesome. And so many other content creators that are in this chat too, Eric, and obviously my guest for tonight, Strange Monkey. And speaking of which, let's start to segue to some of your channel stuff. Um, because to me, you're one of the creators I always think of when I think of uniqueness. Like you're one of the first people always come up into my mind because you're doing things. You're in multiple levels, so to speak. You know, with your character, with your presentation. You know, you've got like an old school vibe to you. Your taste in movies, your knowledge in movies. First of all, for those who may not know you, and I know a lot of these people do, but there'll be people watching a replay, what is it that keeps you going on your channel as far as creating and the passion that drives you?
Just being as creative as possible.
Mhm,
I always
mhm.
try to take notes, and I always look back on older videos and I think, okay, what can I do better in the next videos? I go
Yeah.
back to my very first video. I didn't have a tripod because it went missing. And then eventually I found it. I didn't have, I don't remember if I did, I have a backdrop, but I didn't have my setup right yet. I was just
Mhm.
still learning as I would go, and some people would just give me advice. And somebody
Yeah.
told me in my first review to tone it down, and I said that's not going to happen. So I'm sorry, but a lot of content creators have trouble with working on new content. Because you get frustrated and you get burnt out, but you just have to
Yes.
try to keep being creative as time goes on. That's what keeps me going.
Yeah, man. And like I said, when I first saw your channel, I was just like, "What am I watching? This is crazy." And it's just funny because I do think it's really nice, especially when you talk about the horror community. So many awesome content creators, and the great thing about it is they're very supportive of each other. And
Right.
I think I found your channel. I want to say it might have been through Triv, Trivial
Ah,
Theater.
yes.
Because once you start following someone, you'll have recommendations and so forth. But your video, I forgot what video it was. All I know is that I just like, "This dude is on some stuff," but I like it, and it made me laugh. I was entertained, and you were talking horror, which is a love of mine. So it was like you were just like I said, you're working on multiple levels, and you do it consistently, and that's why I think, your channel is just so unique, and uniqueness always is a plus for me, people that do
I
creative
appreciate that.
things. No, absolutely. I mean, it's well, it's true. This makes me think of that Milli Vanilli song. It's true. Oh, geez. Someone's gonna use this as a clip. That's
Oh
okay
my god!
though.
I hope so. It's hilarious. I mean, I was inspired by it. It could be my real face. I see the comment. Or
Yeah.
um, I remember just coming up with ideas when I was watching old Joe Bob Briggs videos and Elvira stuff. And
Yeah. Yeah.
my character is somewhat of a horror host, even though I just review tons of movies, but I try to change up
Mhm.
the content to keep it fresh.
Yeah.
So it's just that's how I came up with the idea. Those two inspired me to make changes to my solo channel, and here we are
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, man. I mean, I love that idea, and that inspiration is awesome. I mean, Joe Bob, man, I used to watch him back in the day, and like it didn't even matter, and it still doesn't now either. It doesn't matter what movie, he's discussing or showing.
Yeah,
His personality, it just grabs you, his charisma and his knowledge, and
it
it's like,
adds more
wow,
to the movie, even if you've never seen it
absolutely.
before.
So
It's
true.
great.
So true.
I
Pa
missed out on all of that, unfortunately. Oh, sorry to cut
Oh,
you
you
off.
Oh, you mean back in the day you had missed out on it?
Yeah, as a kid, I didn't even know.
Oh.
I had no clue. And then it wasn't until like maybe 2010, people were
Mhm,
like, "Hey, do you remember this guy?"
mhm.
And it was a picture of Joe. He had like a pumpkin with the TNT logo, and I'm like, "Who
Yes.
is this guy?" And I looked him
Right?
up on YouTube, and this was long before the reboot. And then when he was coming back, I was like, "I have got to see this. Like, this is good
Yeah.
stuff here."
Yeah, man. I mean, he's a legend. He's iconic, and it's just again, like you said, just so creative. The charisma is just
Absolutely,
it's crazy, man. It's
it's
crazy.
good stuff.
Um, Apollo was saying that John Carpenter intended for Michael to be the boogeyman. The boogeyman can't die. If he has any input and ends, Michael will live. Sadly, that's
That's
a good
true.
point. It's a good point. Yeah,
So I think
yeah.
he's an executive producer and the composer along with his son and his I think it's
Yeah.
his nephew, and he's also a creative consultant. So
Mhm.
maybe he might have some input on there. I don't know. I think, like I said in the last stream, I don't think he cares at this point. He's like, as long as pay me and we're good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the pay and also the respect, you know?
Absolutely,
Because they've tried to get him back in so many of the installments over the years, and I know him and Mustafa, when Mustafa was alive, they had a lot of a lot of beef and stuff, and
they
from
clashed. Yeah,
yeah, from John's point of view, I can understand it, because although Mustafa and those guys took a chance on him as a young director, but the franchise was making a lot of money that John never really saw, and they eventually kind of settled that a little bit.
I
But
think Mustafa just saw dollar signs and he knew
yes,
what he knew what was there on the table. He's like, this is going to be iconic, and
yes,
that's
yep,
why number three didn't work.
I agree. I agree. Yep. Corey was saying to Wayne, he's sensitive about the eye, so just pretend you don't notice it. I like that.
Oh boy,
Pretend.
I'm gonna pretend
uh,
like I didn't just hear any of
yeah, yeah.
that.
Nice. Let's see. Castor was saying his question for you is, what are your top five horror kills?
In Halloween in general, or like the franchise, or
I think maybe just horror in general, but you could go
oh
either
man,
way. Whatever might
um,
come to your mind.
off the top of my head, I don't know. I'll keep it in the franchise, I guess,
Okay.
because for me, my favorite is it's the shotgun through the door in Halloween 4. Like
Oh,
that one. That one is
you
crazy.
you are speaking my language, and
Yeah.
I am ready.
I
Hey,
know.
you know me, man. I'm
Ah.
usually ready.
Like some
But
people will say it's unrealistic, but when it happens, it's like holy shit. Like I didn't even,
mhm.
and um of course when he kills I believe it's Bob, um
Yes, classic.
Linda's and that one as well. And
Mhm.
we're talking five. Um I'd say the next one would be uh is it Mikey from Halloween 5, the boyfriend,
I think so.
Tina's boyfriend. Yeah, when
Yeah.
Michael has like a rake or something, and then he just hits him in the head with it. That was pretty
Yes.
brutal. Um,
Yes.
the hospital kill and Curse was another one. I think we got four. When he's just stabbing everybody like that was pretty wild stuff right
Mhm.
there. And I'd say in the remake when young Michael, I think when he kills Judith, I think that was another one.
Ooh, yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal because she
Yep.
did not expect that, and
Right.
he was already stalking her, and then he just starts stabbing her. I think that's something that Rob Zombie did pretty well because like he's got the mask on already. He's already
Right.
stalking her as a kid, and I thought that was pretty effective.
Absolutely. I agree
So
with you.
I
Yeah.
think we got five there. Yeah,
Yeah.
so off the top of my head, those are some of my favorites.
Yeah. No, that's a good list. I could deal with that.
Uh,
Um Gory saying long time night watch and Strange Monkey fan and subscriber here. You two are great. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Very sweet of you. Very sweet. Uh, our boy, our friend of the channel, in the community. Eric saying Strange Monkey's character and channel is just an evolution in fun. Plain and simple. He's unique, knowledgeable, and also not to be taken seriously. Great combination. Good guy off of YouTube as well. I
Thank you,
absolutely
Eric.
agree.
Much
Yeah.
appreciated.
Yeah.
I try. You
Absolutely.
got to keep it fun. That's the number one thing. You have to keep it fun.
Hmm.
If you're not having fun, then it's not worth it.
Right. I agree. I absolutely agree. Gory was saying, yes, Strange Monkey, Joe Bob, and Elvira are my inspirations too. I shaped my character as a love child between the two.
That is hilarious.
I love that though, man. I
I
love
can
that.
see where the inspiration comes from. Just like the
Yeah.
overall presentation in her videos,
Hmm.
they are just top notch. Very good stuff.
Absolutely, man. That's very true. I can definitely see how that worked out. Gory, you'll have to, if you get a chance, get in touch with me or any of us. We got to get you on with us at some point. That'd be pretty cool. Um, Dan saying Joe Bob was the best. I'd put the kids to bed and watch. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Castro saying Pumpkinhead is getting a remake. Uh-oh. What do you think about that, Strange Monkey?
Pumpkinhead. Oh man.
That's an old
Um,
school one.
I gotta say, I don't. I've only seen the movie once.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have to watch it a few more times to appreciate it because I know that's like a big cult movie.
Yes,
Um,
indeed.
and I've seen some of part two, but that's as far as I went with Pumpkinhead. But if as long as there are practical effects, because the practical effects in that movie were pretty good, as
Mm-hmm.
long as they don't go crazy with CGI and they stay true to the original story, I mean, they can add a few new things in there, but as long as they stay true to the original and don't throw a bunch of bull crap, then we're good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's something to look forward to.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Gory was saying to Wayne that Emma from Spooky Astronauts and Jason, yeah, they are fellow Aussies. You're right. Very cool channel too. Emma is funny as hell. Oh my god. My man Apollo saying, just subscribe to you, SM, Strange Monkey.
Oh, thank you so
Cool,
much for that.
cool, cool. My man Jack. Jack is in the chat, and I meant to make that rhyme, saying, yes, finally get to check out one of Night's live streams. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate you being here. Hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. Gory also with a comment saying that I love that Michael gets a gun and uses it as a stabbing weapon. That's
It's
right.
amazing. Like he takes like I think what's the guy's name? Brady. Like he
Yeah.
grabs the gun and it just hits him in the face with it. He doesn't even bother shooting. Like he's like, I don't need this. Like, this is useless
Right?
to me.
Oh
It's
man.
like
Yep.
shooting. What is this?
That's right. This gun. Come on. I know how to use this thing a better way. Um, the Crypt Keeper versus Strange Monkey. Oh
Oh
man.
Lord, no, there's no contest. The Crypt Keeper is an icon. I actually met John Cassier back in 2012.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was because I used to be afraid of the Crypt Keeper when I was a kid, and it's like
Right?
it all came full circle. Like I had watched the entire series, and I told him about that. I got a picture with him and everything. It was a pretty interesting experience.
Very cool. Very cool. Oh, we got a hot take. Unpopular opinion. Gory loves Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
That's a
Oh,
very common hot take because I'll give Rob Zombie credit for his originality in that one. He didn't want to do
mm-hmm.
the whole hospital thing, but I just think he went too crazy with.
Mm.
Who gave that 4 stars? Was it Joe Bob? Oh,
Is it?
I, I'm sorry, Gory. I think he went too crazy with because like I like the theatrical versions of both of those movies, but
Yeah.
the director's cut, I'm just not a fan of the director's cut
Mm.
of that one or the first one. It's just there are certain scenes that are unnecessary in my opinion.
Mhm,
And when I
mhm.
saw that, I'm like, what is he doing? Like, what are you doing with this? But
Yeah.
it's Halloween 2 is it's different. It's a unique movie, and
It
that's
it
what I'll say.
is. Yeah. No, I agree. It is, and I will say the one bright spot is my man right there, Brad Dourif, because I think he did a hell of a job in the movie. I was a little disappointed how they did my girl Danielle.
Yeah, that
And it's like,
was.
I mean, it was a very well shot, death scene and well done. But I was like, man, they're killing her. Come
you you
on.
can you can feel his pain when he finds her dead and all that. And I think they used
Yeah.
like some footage when Danielle was a child,
Yes. Yep.
and the
Yeah.
way he was just yelling, he was like, "No, no!" And he
Yeah.
was just he was angry. The whole
I'm gonna
it
be
was just.
it, I'm gonna be honest. When he broke down, I started getting a little emotional. That's how
It's
good Brad
it's a
Dourif was in
very
that.
yeah, it's a very sad scene. It's like wow,
Mhm.
because and she lived past the first one because in the original Annie dies, and in this one it's different. She's
Yeah.
struggling to still be friends with Laurie,
Yep.
and then in the end it just she gets killed, and it really hurts everybody. It hurt Laurie, it hurt Brackett. It was just really sad to see.
Yep. Yep. But yeah, that's definitely a hot take. Again, I think it was in. Yeah, there we go, right there. I
Oh
mean,
Lord, there it
I
is.
I think it
Uh,
was a good slash. I think it was a good slasher movie, but I just think that it went a little too far left for a Halloween movie. But it, it that's another conversation for another day. Like even when I did a review on it, we were all over the place with it because it was like, wow,
well,
man.
I'll say
Yeah.
this: there are people who are not fans at.
Right.
Thank you, Mikey. I appreciate that. It says he's gonna check out
Yes.
my channel. There
Nice.
is a cut on YouTube. It's from a channel called Cole Edits, and he has his take on Halloween 1 and 2. He completely cuts out Sherry Moon from the second movie. There
All
is
right.
no white horse stuff or anything, and I was like, how did he do that? Like he took out a lot of things that I guess he felt was unnecessary, and I was like, whoa, this
Mhm.
is a completely different movie right here.
Wow. All right. Yeah.
Uh,
That's definitely. Yeah. I like that. Castlar saying, surprised to find out that John Saxon is in a zombie film. John
what?
Saxon was in a lot of films, man.
A zombie
Yeah.
film? I gotta look that up.
That does not surprise me whatsoever. Yeah. Gory saying, I'd be honored to be a guest on the Night Watch Zone. Oh, thanks so much. That's awesome. We'll have to make it happen. We will have to make it happen. Trust me, trust me, trust me. And here goes Eric. You knew Eric was gonna jump on that
There
train.
it is.
Because
Oh, there it
I know he
is.
likes H2 as well.
I
Oh
was
man.
waiting for something. I was like, Eric needs to jump in on this hot take. I know it's gonna happen.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh man. And she says that she's working on a video defending the film. All right. All right. That's pretty cool,
I
man.
think I saw Gory saying something about I would break the crypt keeper, and
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I like that.
that's funny.
A death
I
battle.
with one take on this. I
Oh my
appreciate
god.
the funny comments, Gory. I appreciate that. Thank
That's
you.
too funny, man. Oh my god. Let's see. Kessler saying the malignant jail scene puts orange is the new black to shame. That's
Oh
true,
God,
man.
if I had like a wig I can put on, I'll just start moving around.
Yes. Yes.
Oh God, that was a
Oh my
wild
god.
scene.
Yes. And body, oh, here's an old school move. Body parts with Jeff Fahey. My man Jeff Fahey and Brad Dourif is interesting. Absolutely.
I've
I
never
agree.
seen that. Is that
Ooh,
body
that's a
parts?
movie.
That's I get confused with that and body bags. Jeff Fahey is so underrated. I have to
Yes.
look that up.
Yeah, look it up. It's a good one from back in the day. I think from like 91. I could be wrong, but
91.
it was
Okay.
either it was somewhere maybe 95, it is somewhere around there. But Jeff Fahey is always a pleasure to watch
Yeah.
in my opinion.
He
Yes.
was he was really good in Lawnmower Man. It's
Oh,
a good movie.
dude. All right, now hold on. Wait a minute. All right, so now we're going off the rails with
Uh,
Strange Monkey. Now, are you telling me, because that's a hot take, because there's a lot of people that hate the Lawnmower Man, but so you're a fan of the Lawnmower Man.
I know Stephen King is not a fan, but that's another story. But
All right.
I like Lawnmower Man for what it is.
Mhm.
I know two is just
Yeah.
and I feel like two could have been just as good, but the ending they just sort of crashed and burned. It's like they don't even
Yeah.
care. But
They don't.
I like the first one. I like the idea of the whole virtual reality thing. It's ahead of
Yes.
it. I think it's ahead of its time. Don't tell Stephen
Absolutely.
King that though. He'll.
Hey, look, all I know is this, man. I was a fan of that movie too. I still am. I saw it at a certain time, and it was like, wow, that's pretty cool, man. All
It's a
right,
very
yeah,
very interesting movie. Yeah.
we will have to talk about that someday. Eric talking about that he's got some of half of his collaboration filmed, and we'll send it to you
Uh
this weekend.
yeah. We
All
are
right,
working on a Predator video.
nice, very
We're
very
trying to
cool.
get that off the ground for some time, so I'm excited
Nice.
about that.
Very cool. Yeah, Eric's Predator video, man. I was just he got me pumped up, and I love the movie, and I know the movie forwards and backwards. But hearing Eric just get so excited about it, I was just like, "Wow, man,
Yeah, I
you're
started
so right."
watching when you guys were talking about part two. I believe it was you guys that were talking about part two. I put it on. I was like, that's it. I'm watching part two right now. I did the whole Gary Busey impression and all of that.
Right? Who hates the lawnmower man? Blasphemy. Next, you're gonna tell me that people hate sleepwalkers, right?
Exactly. Like, where is this hate coming from? Sleepwalkers is awesome. No
Dude,
vegetables, no dessert.
I'm telling you right now, and this is all. And by the way, guys, this is you get. Well, if you've watched these live streams, you know that this is unscripted. So I'm gonna say this right now, Strange Monkey, and that's if you're up for it. Don't feel any pressure. But one of these days, either us or even us and some other folks, we got to talk about Lawnmower Man. We got to talk about Sleepwalkers, and just let it go, let it go, because that would be funny as hell.
I have to. I definitely. That would be great.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Jack is saying, I love Sleepaway Camp. Yeah. All right. And saying, always wanted to do breakdown videos on those movies. Yeah, man. Absolutely. Oh, well, there she is. Coriander's in the chat.
Oh,
Um,
hello,
she's
Coriander.
she's a huge Sleepaway Camp fan. We did an episode on that. We did Sleepaway Camp too, and she was just in heaven.
That's a
You know, and
crazy
they
movie.
are good. They are good. Yeah, they are good.
I do like the first one. Those sequels, I don't know.
Right? Eric saying, "I'm down for a Lawnmower Man and Sleepwalkers double feature on the channel night." All right, man. We'll
That's a
hey,
good one
look,
right there.
you know me, man. I always love new ideas and creative things. So I'll try to put something together. We'll get a couple of us together doing that. That'd be fun. That'd be very fun. Corey Anderson, hey guys, what's
Hello,
up?
hello.
What's up? All right. Eric says, just avoid return to sleepaway camp.
At all costs. Burn it. Burn every copy of that thing. But bury it in the desert with the ET cartridges that are in there. Just
Right,
it's
absolutely.
trash.
Wayne saying that Jack, the Lethal Collective, might be showing Sleepaway Camp soon. Yeah, yeah, we had talked about that. So hopefully that will happen as a watch along. We'll have to see, but that's something that's definitely we're trying to get in the work. Now, this is something I also wanted to do with you, Strange Monkey. Is I wanted to just take a quick like speed round. Let's just call it like a speed
Okay.
round. And I'm just going to ask you some questions and just have you answer them as best as possible. There's no pressure. This is not a test, as far as you know. But I just
All
want
right.
I just want to throw some questions
I
at
am
you.
prepared for this.
All right. So I just want to get an idea on what you think. All right. So let me and I've got a timer. Let me get that set up.
All
And
right.
then once I get going, we're gonna go with it and see how many of these we can get through. I think I got about 15 questions. We'll probably get through it pretty quick because
I got
you're
my
pretty
my
you're swift.
got my red LED lights. It got serious. I'm like, let's see what we got.
All
All
right, let's see. All right, let me get this ready. All right. First off,
right.
Laurie Strode or Sydney Prescott, and why?
I'm gonna go with Sydney. Because Sydney she's a fighter, and throughout the entire franchise, she finds a way to outsmart the killer. When you compare her to Laurie Strode, it's not fair because they killed her off multiple times,
Mhm.
and in the original films, she starts off as this weak individual that has no idea what's going on, and then as the sequels progress, she gets stronger in H2O, and she says, "That's it. I'm gonna destroy Michael." She stands up to this to this thing that's just haunting her for 20 years. And
Hmm.
then they go and and it all goes to waste. It was a perfect redemption story. And then in H2O, they absolutely destroyed it by killing her off a second time. But
Right.
but when you compare her to Sydney, it's consistent because they didn't kill her off and then reboot it. She's already experienced all of this stuff when she fights Ghostface. So she more or less knows what to expect when it
Hmm.
comes to facing this threat. And with all that experience, she's it doesn't really phase her anymore, as we saw in Scream 5. So I'm gonna go with Sydney.
All right. Yes or no? Hereditary is a good horror movie.
Man, that movie scared the shit out of me. Of course, it's a good movie.
All right. Most overrated horror franchise.
Ah, man. That is tough. I'm gonna I'm gonna go with probably Puppet Master, I guess.
John Carpenter or Wes Craven?
John Carpenter.
All right, that was
It's like the
great.
last 3 seconds. They didn't even. Yeah, there's no hesitation. No hesitation.
That was good, man.
Thank you.
You
I'm
were like,
sorry, but I
damn.
had to pick. I was like, yeah, how are you doing this to me with the last 5 seconds? Like, oh no, like two of my favorites. I had to go with John on that one.
Nice. And real quick, we got some more people that came into here. One question Apollo had was, what are your thoughts on Black Christmas from 1976?
It's a masterpiece. I love
All
that
right.
movie.
Okay. All right. JML saying if they do kill Michael, it'll be interesting to see how they do it. Absolutely.
Definitely. There's so many
Absolutely.
different ways that they can do that.
Yes, indeed. Wayne had a question also saying, I want to see Adam Green, aka creator of Hatchet, make a new Halloween series after ends. Any thoughts on that?
Man, that is that's an interesting name to throw in there as far as who can take over it, because we've seen what he can do with the Hatchet movies, and I heard Frozen was good, and I've seen The Dark and the Marrow. I think it's called The
Yeah.
Dark and the Marrow. He's got quite a talent.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
I could see that happening.
Okay.
He's good at creating slasher films, as we know. So I think with the right people working with him,
Hmm.
I would definitely be interested in seeing something like that.
Yeah, I agree. That would be interesting. I'd be up for that as well. What's going on, Denisha? How you doing?
Hello.
Uh, and one more question: Maximum Overdrive thoughts?
Oh man,
Uh,
I think Stephen King was on a lot of drugs when he wrote that movie.
he even said he was
Oh, there you
cocaine.
go. There you go. That movie is a lot of fun, and I think
It
that's
is,
the best way to describe it. You can't take Maximum Overdrive seriously.
right?
It's I
It's a great
think Gory
soundtrack,
says, yeah, she says it's right up there with Sleepwalkers. I agree.
right?
It's like two movies that you can't take seriously. It's a lot of
Right.
fun.
Nice. Kessler is saying Urban Legend is getting a remake. Oh, all right.
I have never seen Urban Legend.
Ooh, yeah, you got to
Yeah,
check that one out.
that and Valentine is another one I
Oh,
need to get around to watching.
you got to check them out, man.
Yeah.
For real, they are good, man. Very, very good. Mikey was saying, any thoughts on The Guest from 2014, an underrated suspense horror movie?
Is that the one with the girl from It Follows? I
I can't
th-
remember. Was Joel Edgerton in that one,
I don't
or
think
was that
so.
something else? Oh no, that
No,
was
I
The
think
Gift.
that the gift. You're thinking,
Yes,
yeah. No, I
yes.
have the guest. I purchased it not too long ago because everybody was saying you got to check that out. You got to check it out, and I said,
Hmm.
all right, I will buy it, and it's
Yeah.
still on my to watch list. So
Okay.
I've seen the trailer. It looks interesting.
Yeah. Doomsday is in the chat saying, "Sup guys? What's up,
Hey,
man? How
how's
you
it
doing?
going?
Very, 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 very cool to see you, man." Um, yeah, I mean, but there are a lot of movies like that that I have on my watch list too, and it's like, ugh, man. But I have one last question. I know we've been going for a while here, and I don't want to keep you too long, but I have one last question, and
Sure.
it might be easy or it might be kind of a frustrating one, but in general. What's your thoughts on the state of horror today? Horror movies today?
There's so much that can be fixed. I don't know. I mean, for years we've been talking about how CGI has damaged horror,
Mhm.
and like the things that happen in modern, like they take a lot of things that go on in modern times and they put that into horror, and a lot of people don't like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some people say just write it as a straight up horror. Don't have any messages that could just ruin a whole movie. You get what I'm trying to say. It's just
Absolutely.
there's no need for any of that stuff. It's like I get what they're saying. It's just some people, they they tend to screw up a franchise by injecting things that don't belong in these
Mhm.
movies, and that's why fans get really pissed off.
Yeah.
Um, so I just think that just do it. Whatever comes to mind, it has to be from the heart and not what others want. If
Yeah.
that makes any sense, and just be creative. Look at what A24 is doing.
Right. Yeah.
They're knocking it out. Yes,
Mhm.
that's the one. Guess with Micah Monroe from It Follows. That's the
Okay.
girl I was thinking from. But yeah, like A24 is knocking it out of the park when it comes to horror movies. Like their stuff is insane,
Yeah. I agree.
and um, what's the new one that's coming out? X. That one
X.
is right around the corner, and that one looks
Mhm.
absolutely insane. So I look forward to that.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like a
But
cross between Texas Chainsaw Massacre and The Visit or something like that, you know?
yeah, something like that. But in general, just less CGI in horror and more creativity, and just any other BS, just leave it out. You know.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, no, I can definitely agree with that. I definitely can agree with that. Uh, Castlar saying The Thing and Altered are great films. The Thing is seriously, and I know you know this, Strange Monkey. The Thing
It's
is one of my favorite movies of all time, of of of
flawless.
of any genre. I've seen that movie so many damn times, it's not funny. Um, and I will continue to see it a lot of times. It's
How
absolutely
can you get
fantastic.
tired of it? That
Right?
movie has in my opinion, the greatest practical effects seen in film, like ever.
Yeah, yeah, man. It is so I still can't fathom some of the stuff that Rob Bottin was able to do in that movie. Like when the Norris head grows the spider legs and stuff, it still looks friggin' amazing.
It's
Whew,
it is. I remember when I saw that on TV as a kid. I'm like, what the hell is this?
right? I was like, "What am I watching?" And my little brother is beside me, and he's like, I was like, "Right?" Seriously, man.
It's insane. Like I saw their Gory said that Psycho Gorman and The Void have,
Mm,
yeah, those movies have a lot of great practical effects.
yes, that's
Um,
true.
there is another movie, I can't remember the name of it, that it's basically a tribute to The Thing, and uh, Harbinger Down, I believe that's the name of it. And
Hmm,
this movie is made by the same people who worked on. It's by the effects team that worked on the prequel to John
okay.
Carpenter's
Yeah.
2011, because they were so frustrated with how the studio screwed up everything. How they wanted and
Yes.
demanded all the CGI. So they said, okay, we'll make our own movie, and they had a crowdfunding, and they were able to have enough money to make this film. Lance Henriksen is in this movie, so it's something of a tribute to The Thing. There are some similarities. It's an interesting movie.
Hmm. Yeah, I haven't seen it, although I have heard of it. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I'll
I
send
definitely
you a
have to
trailer
check
when
it
I
out.
get a chance. It's a pretty interesting movie.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And Gory was saying CGI is a tool when it's used well. It's great. It fails when it's used as a replacement for practical. Great effects often combine the two, like in Blade 2. That's a good point. I think
Hmm.
CGI definitely could be used to enhance what practical is doing, but just don't go, too far over. That's the
Blade
important thing.
Blade 2 is a really good example because there were a lot of practical, and there was some CGI that you can notice, but it didn't hurt the movie at all because the stuff with
Right.
those vampires, it was just really good stuff there.
Yeah, I was very impressed with it, and I
Yeah.
love the Blade movies. One of these days, I got to do those too, man. It's crazy. Gore is saying that the prequel had great practical effects, but the studio, yeah, yep, it's too bad, man. I remember on the old channel, I did an episode on the thing, and then the prequel. And for the prequel, I think the big take on our episode, and I think we had Marty with us from Trash Picture Show. I think the
Mhm.
big take that we had was the movie was so well done in a lot of ways, and they had good intentions, but that CGI just really just knocked it down a couple of pegs, you know?
It hurt the film
It did.
severely. When you like the helicopter scene, the transformation, when the guy
Yes.
like his, it's like I don't know what the hell that was. I'm like, what
Right.
happened there? I'm like, did his? It's just like
Yeah. I know,
it
man.
looked like unfinished CGI. And when you
Mhm.
seen the behind the scenes footage on YouTube with all the practical effects and what they worked on, I was like, you got to be kidding me! This is what they replaced?
Yeah.
Like, it's insanity. Like, I don't know what they were thinking.
I agree. I agree. It was too bad because I still do enjoy the film, but I just sometimes think to myself, what could have been, with the practical that they set out to use and wanted to showcase because they understood what made
I,
John Carpenter's The Thing so iconic and such a masterpiece of a film,
yes,
having the practical.
and I believe his version was much closer to the original book. I believe it's called Who Goes There.
Yes.
And this prequel, and the sad thing, Knight, is that there's a good movie there.
Yeah.
When you put all that stuff aside with the CGI, you've got a
Mhm.
really interesting story. You have great characters.
Mhm.
Kate is a really great character.
I
Like she's
agree.
a strong character, and a lot of people. That's another thing I forgot to bring up with like the state of horror. A lot of people complain about the lack of strong female characters in horror, and I made a video defending Terminator Dark Fate, saying, people
Mhm.
are saying there's no female characters in horror or in sci-fi. I made a list of characters, female characters that we've had for like the last 15, 20 years,
Mhm.
and Kate is definitely one of those characters that just wasn't having it from anybody.
Yeah.
She stood her ground, and when all hell was breaking loose, like she did what she had to do to survive. Um,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah. I
just
thought she
sad
was
that
great.
everything else just overshadowed that movie.
Mhm.
All the stupid nonsense that took place.
I agree. I agree. And Mary Elizabeth Winstead was fantastic in that role. I thought she did a heck of a
She's a
job. She really,
great,
really did.
great actress. She knocked it out of
Yeah.
the park.
Yep. Absolutely. Castler saying Dread was awesome. Yes, it was.
Mama is not the law. I am the law. I love that.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. Carl Urban, man. That's my man. What's up, Katie? Popping the popcorn.
Hello.
Popping
Oh,
the
Marty mentioned her on his video. He was giving shout outs to different channels.
hmm
I have to check the channel out.
Yeah, Katie's awesome, man. She's very, very cool, very supportive in the community. And yeah, she's awesome. Definitely check her out. No doubt about that.
Absolutely.
But anyways, yeah, man. I mean, I think that's about all we've got. I mean,
All right.
this has been I mean, I mean, this obviously when we talk offline, off live and stuff like that, but it's always fun, to just have a conversation picking, someone like yourself, your brain, such a passionate horror fan, and it's just
I
fun.
have my hat is on, but my brain is just. It's not good to show it on camera. I think.
It wouldn't be appropriate, would it?
No, no. We're talking Nightmare on Elm Street 2, just everywhere.
Nice. Uh, but and also, I just want to say, man, like, especially your thoughts on Michael Myers and the Halloween franchise. I knew that would be fun to kind of get some of your thoughts because you have an appreciation for the franchise. You've been a fan of the
Yeah.
franchise, and yeah, I knew that would be fun, which it was. It
Like I
was.
said, there are flaws, but I appreciate the franchise for what they have brought to the table after all these years. I
Mhm.
can't get enough of these movies. They're a lot of fun.
Me too, man. I'm gonna be right there as soon as I can in the theater watching Halloween Ends. And when I saw Kills in the theater, I literally had a smile on my face. And as soon as that recreation scene started, I was just like, "Are you serious?"
I
And it was great.
I
It was
was so
great.
happy when I saw Dr. Loomis. It was just like
Yes.
it's like seeing
Oh,
an old friend. I was like, oh
right?
my god, he's back.
Yes. Officer Hawkins, did Michael
Right?
kill?
Hey,
Did
kill
Michael
again.
kill again? Yes.
Great stuff.
Oh man, Loomis is the best. Gory said you wear the hat so your brains don't fall out.
Exactly. She knows. She knows.
Very cool. Well, anyways, guys, first of all, again, I want to thank my guest, special guest, friend of the channel, friend of mine, Strange Monkey from Strange Monkey Reviews. For any of you
Thank
guys,
you.
yeah, absolutely, man. And for any of you guys watching this, if you have not checked out his channel, you got to do yourself a favor and do it. I mean, he's got great content, a great person, and so supportive, just of everybody, dude. You're just one of those people that,
Thank you.
yeah, no, but I mean, but I'm serious, and it's just you're just a fun person, and you're just a cool person to get to know. And I think through your channel, you can start that process, and you're just very open to people. And like I
Thank
said,
you.
I love your stuff. So,
Thank you.
so
I can say the same about your channel. So, um,
thanks, man.
you're a good person, man. I appreciate your friendship. So, if everybody that's here, if you want to check out my channel, feel free. Explore.
And I've got your channel link in the description, so definitely do that and
Thank you.
check out my man. Give him a sub because he more than deserves it, no doubt about that.
Thank you.
S- So, for you guys in the chat, thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate that. Please give this video a like, and that will also help support this channel and also Strange Monkey getting some exposure out there. That'd be great. Um, Also, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about some of the things we've talked about. We've covered so much. Let us know what
We
you think about
did.
Halloween Ends and should Michael Myers die? Will he die in Halloween Ends? Let us know what you think of Sleepwalkers and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 and The Thing and all these great topics we covered tonight. So, as we head on out, Gory saying great stream, love the conversation. As Joe Bob would say, 4 stars. Check it out.
4 stars.
Right?
Check it out.
Yes, absolutely. So we will catch you guys later. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. And as I always say, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace out.